Hi, welcome back. This is Professor Ridge, and today's lesson on section 8.2, the quadratic formula. So we're picking up where we left off in 8.1. We're solving quadratic equations. Okay, so if we start out the quadratic equation in standard form, and we pretty much follow all the steps of what we did in the last section. If you recall, our first step was get rid of the constant term, so you're going to subtract c. Then we're going to divide each term by a, the leading coefficient. So we get x squared plus b over a x plus blank equals negative c over a plus blank. We're going to complete the square. So you take half the middle term, so note, I always get questions about this in class, b over a divided by 2 is the same thing as b over a times 1/2, which is b over 2a. And then we're going to square it, so we divide by 2, square it. So it'll be b squared, square the top, square the bottom. 2a times 2a is 4a squared. Add it to both sides. Okay, and then when you combine when you add these two fractions together, we want to get common denominators. So if I get negative c over a, I'm going to times it by 4a. Which would be negative 4ac over 4a squared. Now you have a common denominator, so it's going to be b squared. I'm going to just switch the order. So if I have negative c over a plus 4ac I have negative 4ac over 4a squared plus b squared over 4a squared. You just combine those like terms. You're going to leave the denominator 4a squared. And instead of writing negative 4ac plus b squared, I'm going to switch it around. b squared minus 4ac. Looks nicer. Okay, so that's completing the square. Now from there, we square root both sides. So we're going to square root the top over square root the bottom. And then one more step, we subtract b over 2a from both sides. So it comes over here. And then you can leave it like that, or if you want to make it one fraction, since we got common denominators, we can make it one fraction. And there is the quadratic formula. So what we do is we memorize this formula, the quadratic formula. We have the quadratic formula, we can memorize it. We can skip all the work in the middle and just go to the last line. The key though is it has to be in the standard form where it's equal to 0. Okay, so let's try one. Okay, so we're going to solve this one. It's in standard form. It's equal to 0. So a is 1, b is 5, c is 3. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So it's going to be the opposite of 5 plus or minus square root of 5 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. which is going to give us opposite of 5 plus or minus 25 minus 12 is 13 all over 2. And that doesn't simplify any further, so we just leave it like that. Okay, so again we got to get it into standard form first, so subtract 6x. A is going to be 1, B is negative 6, C is 11, so x is the opposite of b, plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And plug in the opposite of negative 6 is 6, plus or minus square root of negative 6 squared is 36, minus 4 times 1 times 11, which is 44, all over 2a, which is 2. And then 6 plus or minus square root of negative, what is that, negative 8, all over 2. And then negative 8 is, from what we learned in chapter 7, negative 8 is, the negative is I. 8's 2 times 2 times 2, so 2 comes out, and a 2 stays in. And then I'm going to divide it by 2. Now notice, you can, if you remember, if it's an imaginary number, we split it up into 2 fractions. So it'll be 3 plus or minus square root of, or I square root of 2. Okay, so number 30, we want to first simplify everything. Distribute out 5x. Distribute the 4x. 4x times negative 2 is negative 8x. Get it equal to 0. So we're going to get x squared plus 3x minus 7 equals 0. A is 1, B is 3, C is negative 7. So x equals the opposite of b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Substitute in, we get negative 3 plus or minus square root of 3 squared is 9 minus 4 times 1 times negative 7 is 28. Positive, negative and negative make positive. All over 2a, which is 2. So that's negative 3 plus or minus square root of 37. Okay, that's not going to simplify any further, so we're done. Alright, so let's try number 50. We're going to use quadratic formula and then approximate the solution to 3 decimal places. Okay, so A is, it's in standard form already. A is 3, B is negative 3, C is negative 2, x is the opposite of b, plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, which gets opposite of negative 3 is positive 3, plus or minus 3 squared is 9, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times negative 2. So 4 times 3 times negative 2 is negative 24. And then minus negative 24 becomes plus 24. All over 2a, which is 6. That's 33. And that's my answer, but we need to use a calculator to approximate it. So let's see, 33 square root. So you should get 1.457, or I'm going to do square root of 33 negative so 3 minus square root of 33 is negative 2.74456, and then divide that by 6, and that's about negative 0.457. And there you go. Alright, so that completes the lesson for 8.2. Go to my math lab and complete your exercises there, and I'll see you next time.